All right, Shalom. All praise is going honor. Go to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is another edition of GMS News and Prophecy, and I have an article from the nationalinterest.org. And its headline, Why the U.S. Government is no longer capable of ensuring national security. All right, and I'm going to jump right into it. It says here under the caption of the picture, it says, does America's system of government prevent it from winning the wars of the future? All right. It says the U.S. government is currently structured and regulated, is unable to guarantee the security of its country. This is true both in terms of wars involving combat with a peer or near peer competitor and what we will here call conditional peer threats. Those able to A, challenge or exceed U.S. capabilities, B, in one or more functional or geographical arenas, but C, not across all or most such spheres. All right, so basically what's going on here is America is no longer that great country or nation that it once was. All right, the American hegemony that was once the domination of the world is gone. The American dollar is on a quick and steep decline. All right, the American military is stressed out way too thin. The government is full of scandals, corruption. The morality of the people is at an all-time low. All right. America is not that strong nation it once was. Okay. Not only that, as far as militarily, the military might of America is being constantly challenged and matched by other nations, namely Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Okay, even America's allies are seeking to other countries for alliances. Okay, so America, aka Babylon the Great, is not the same as it used to be. All right, but that's all prophecy. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Shai brought up America the same way He brought up the Egyptians during the time of Pharaoh. He brought them up just so He can destroy them, ultimately, because America was set up by the Lord to be a prison camp for the Israelites for disobeying Him. And now that the Lord has poured His Spirit upon His servants, the prophets, all right, starting with the apostles at Great Millstone and the rest of the elders and teachers and prophets and the brothers, America is quickly being destroyed spiritually and eventually physically via nuclear missiles. All right. So let's get more into it. It says, matter of fact, before I continue further, let me get the scripture, the prophecy. All right. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. All right. So America, which is Babylon, it was the object of the Lord's glory at one point, because the Lord used America to basically take over the other nations. Like I said, put the Israelites, so-called blasphemers and Native Americans today, all right, to put the 12 tribes of Israel into slavery, all right, as a punishment. Okay, it was an instrument of the Lord, all right, I should say. So it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And this is why you see China dumping the petrodollar for their own currency, the petro-yuan. This is why you see them doing trade deals with Russia, North Korea, and Iran. This is why you see the UK and other countries in NATO like Turkey, all right, namely Turkey turning to Russia, okay, because the society and the government and the way that America has to rule on the earth, it's a total fraud and it's just total anarchy. All America brings is war and destroys the countries that it enters. Okay, all right. So the Lord is basically going to bring America down. I'm gonna read it. It's verse 8. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So America is not going to be great again. All right. Okay, Trump is not going to make America great again. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, it says, forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. That's why the other nations are starting to do alliances with others, man, to build their own economy, okay, and their own weapons and their own military, so they can be strong. All right, it says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And the judgment for America is destruction by hypersonic and thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. All right. So let's get into it. It says, successful national defense against the sophisticated, complex, and highly capable threats the United States will face through 2050 requires bringing to bear a comprehensive or interorganizational approach to vital challenges. Many key adversaries are already redefining conflict to include hybrid strategies consisting of action short of war, but certainly within the realm of national competition and conflict. All right, it's basically saying the adversaries of America is not just about conventional war anymore. All right, we're in the so-called information age, as they say, the age of the internet and things like that. So there's different ways to basically destroy a country, such as cyber attacks and things like that. All right. So it says a new approach is required to counter these threats, protect U.S. and partner nation homelands, and defend common interests around the globe. This new approach should include not only U.S. military services, but also interagency and whole of government capabilities. Basically, like every department of the government should be involved in securing the nation. All right. It says multinational partners and additional objective relevant parties likely to include non-governmental and intergovernmental organizations and IGOs and select commercial enterprises. So basically, the only way for America to be healed is to basically develop the New World Order and have other nations and partners join with it. But that's not going to happen. Okay. So it says, unfortunately, this approach is virtually impossible to achieve with today's federal government structure. Recent contingencies have reinforced the reality that the military alone cannot win wars or execute those activities necessary to ensuring battlefield victories become strategic successes during subsequent occupation. So the military, which is America's strong suit, is not capable of bending the other nations to his will anymore. All right, now let's get this prophecy here. All right, let's go to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right, Joel 2 and verse 20. All right, and this is the reason why, because the military of America is just too far stretched out. So it can't be as strong as mighty as it was. And this is the same thing that happened in ancient Rome. Okay, ancient Rome was basically set up the same way America is now. With the military stressed out in the latter years, the government being corrupted, and the Caesars and emperors being just total, eccentric and out of their mind. All right. So it says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. Who? The United States Army in North America. All right. It says, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, which is the Middle East, with his face toward the East Sea, and the East Sea would be the Persian Gulf. All right, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which would be the Red Sea. Okay. It says, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. So the ill savor, the disdain for America is going to be judged in the Middle East. Okay, in that land that's barren and desolate. Okay. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy it for its great wicked things. All right. So going back to the scripture, the article, it says there exists no overarching U.S. government entity with sufficient authority or control over funding to allow orchestration all functions, or probably should say of all functions, such a coalition could bring to bear. That the United States is a democracy is undoubtedly a hindrance in this regard. Effective dictatorships are better configured to compel the coordination such orchestration requires. All right? And this is why the elite are going to use America up and then eventually set up the New World Order and have them at the top. Because that's the only way, because this system was basically set up to fail. That's why the money is backed by fiat money, or it's a credit-based system. Okay, it's not backed by any substance. It's not. It doesn't have any intrinsic value. All right. Okay, so it's going to take another reset of the world, a so-called New World Order. All right, or change of order in America for things to get going. But the only New World Order that's going to come on the earth is the order of the Israelites. All right. It says, yet America's democracy and those of coalition partners and allies does not present an insurmountable obstacle in this regard. That is good news, as this discussion in no way seeks to suggest that the rights and privileges guaranteed in the Constitution should be undermined. It is rather the interpretation and evolution of resulting government structures that require change. So they have to change everything, man. All right. Really. And and ultimately they're changing the Constitution too. Or I should say they never really abided by it. All right. But that's why they're in the predicament they're in now. Because one of the things in the Constitution says that the United States, roughly paraphrasing, is not to be involved in any international affairs. But yet America sticks its nose into every other country's business. All right. So therefore, these other nations and these peoples and these governments are against America. Okay. So basically, America's on the downfall, whether it be, the military, things like that. But I want to get to this last page here, which I'm offline. So let me. All right. Might be some messages pop up, but that's cool. Let's see if I can get this last page. Yeah, pretty much got a couple messages, but let's get here because things in America are going to change, man. All right. Okay. Let's see. It was something I wanted to get. Might be the second page. It's like bear with me for a second. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here. Let's see. All right, because basically what America has to do is America has to basically form better alliances and get their foothold back in the earth. All right. So it says here at the top, it says initial recognition of the need to reduce interorganizational friction is evident in intelligence reforms the U.S. government enacted in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks. All right. So this proves that 9/11 was a part of their strategy to gain control of the world and set America up as that beacon of hope and policing the world and defending it from so-called terrorists when they were the ones actually setting it up. But see, things are being exposed now and changing. So America is imploding from the inside out. Okay. So it says sober review of the event specifically cited 4 kinds of failures: imagination, policy, capabilities, and management. All right. All right. So the management of America has been mishandled. All right. Okay. Which is really the elite setting these things up, but it's going to get to a point to where they're not going to be able to see their enterprise come to pass. Now, there's a scripture. All right. Dealing with this. Let me see real quick. Right, let's go to the book of Job, the 20th chapter, because they're going to try to bring in this new world order system, but it's not gonna be fruitful. All right, let's see, Job 20, right? Job 20, and is it Job 20? Let's see. Let's see if it might be Job the 18th chapter. Or Job 27. One of these chapters. Okay, it's Job 20. That's what I wanted. All right, Job 20. And Job 20 and 18. All right, it says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Now, this is talking about the elites of Esau. Okay? And they used America to gather all these riches, all right, by violence, by the sword. Okay? But they're not going to obtain the New World Order. And they're seeing it fail, and the people around the country and these different analysts, they see American falling, man. All right? They see Babylon the Great going down. It says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. That's how you know it's talking about Babylon. Okay? The elites have, and not just America, but other countries as well. But mainly America, all right? They took it away from the tribe of Gad, all right? The so-called Native Americans. So it said, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Okay? And that's happening now. Okay? Because now you got China putting tariffs on the imports, all right, on these different trade goods, to America. All right? And these other countries don't even want to deal with the dollar anymore. All right? The GDP of America is at an all-time low. They're not doing many exports out of the country because no man is looking for America's goods anymore. Okay? It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Meaning when the elite are just getting ready to set things up, okay, it's going to be difficult. Okay, they got to, and what's happening is they got to stress the military out. They got to cut down certain businesses. That's why you see all these different stores and things, closings all over the country. Okay, it's like they got to save money. All right, it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That's the nuclear missiles destroying America. All right, because the elites of Esau are not going to keep their birthright, or all right, or obtain their birthright. They're not going to keep their rulership. Their cash cow America is going to be totally destroyed. All right. Now, when you go to Isaiah the 19th chapter, it speaks about America being against America. All right. So this is Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians," which is America. All right. It's code word in the Bible for America. Okay. "And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom." All right. That's why you got these different states and things want to secede now. Cali wants to secede and they want to build other, like a whole nother, country or whatever with other Western states. All right. It says, "In the spirit of Egypt or the spirit of America shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof." That's why you see in this article things is being mishandled, being mismanaged. This is the road that America's on, and it's on the road to a war that is not going to get itself out of. Okay? That's why everything in America is failing. Then we just read it in the article. It says, "Sober review of the event specially cited 4 kinds of failures." Okay? So the spirit of America is done. All right? It says, all right, so back in Isaiah 19, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof." All right? The management of America is destroyed. It says, "And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." All right. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashman Shah of armies." Okay. Because ultimately Yahweh Bashman Shah and the nation of Israel are going to rule on earth. Okay. But first Egypt has to fail. Okay. All right. I'm going to read a little bit more in this and then I'm going to end it. It says, "In many ways, the first failure was most critical, as the U.S. inability to imagine such an attack ensured that the nation was ill prepared in terms of the other 3 areas to handle a new form of crisis." Like I said, this is all set up. But what this article does is it sets you the tone of America right now. The spirit of America is failing. Okay? It says, as a commission stated, noting that hindsight always is 20/20, the path of what happened is so brightly lit that it places everything else more deeply in the shadow. It says the West faces significant threats to its nations that posed by gray zone activities waged by adversaries capable of arraying their whole of government capabilities against the individual or collective. It's but one. All right. So I think y'all brothers get the point. America's done. Is totally out of there. It's just the spirit of things right now. Okay. It's just the spirit of things right now. And these people in America that think that America's some great country, they're starting to see it, and they're hoping that it's going to come back and be some top be in the top spot again, but it's not. Okay, it's not. All right, America's done. All right, and we're gonna be against America real soon. All right, so I'm gonna go to Revelation 17. All right, and I'll start at 15. It says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." The whore is America. And the waters are talking about all the different peoples in America. Okay? America's gonna try to strengthen itself in these last days, but it's not gonna work. Okay? You got too many opposing ideas, and like the article said, imaginations, and especially from these other countries around the world, things are not gonna mend together. Okay? And because of America's deceit and wickedness, all the other nations are going to turn against America, as we see now, with the trade wars and the economy falling and these different stores closing up shop or going overseas. All right. The different racial tension in America. It's all bringing this place down. So it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." So all these different nations like NATO and the EU, and their enemies, Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, possibly even South Korea, certain Middle Eastern and African countries, they're all going to hate America and destroy it. Okay? Via nuclear destruction, all right, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right, it says, "For the Most High, all right, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill His will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words or the powers of the Most High shall be fulfilled." So it's with the will of the Lord that they're trying to accomplish some kind of new world government, but it's not going to happen. It's only just going to be until they're destroyed. Okay? It says, "And the woman," which is same as the whore, okay, "which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." And it's going to be totally destroyed. All right? All right, but with that, I'm going to end it there. I hope this article, with this article, I can shed some light on the spirit of America and how it's just going down. It's all prophetic, it's all prophecy. I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, double unto the apostles, elders, and great millstone, until the next edition of GMS or Great Millstone News and Prophecy. Shalom.